last spiritual teaching. The last spiritual teaching. Well, what is it? Well, it's not a teaching if you're gonna think you're gonna do something with it. The teaching, if you may call it that, is to sit still. You're so caught up with what your mind is suggesting onto this reality that we are taking place in. In this plant, for example, it's just sitting with its feet in the earth. It's not thinking of what's going to happen next to it, if a person's going to come by and trample on it. The wind is something that you cannot grab a hold of. The wind is always blowing and weaving through everything that seems to be solid. And I say seems to be solid because nothing ever really is solid, is it? Nothing ever really is concrete. Everything's always changing. But the test is to look closely at all of these things that seem to be changing and to find that of which is not ever changing inside of it. Or is it inside of it? Outside of it? Where is it? You will not be able to answer that question. The you think you are will not be able to answer that question. But the you that sits right in here, that looks through your eyes, that hears with your ears, that smells with your nose, that tastes with your taste buds, that will intuitively know loud and clear the answer to that question and all other questions. You do not answer your own questions. These questions are developed by the ego, but we always end up not finding the answer. Why? Because the answers are not something that you can think into existence, because it already exists inside of you and this reality that you are conjuring. Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. Let it speak. Wait for it to speak. Can you find that patience? I went to Wegmans earlier to pick up one of these. I always like to pick one up every day. They're beautiful. The answers are in stillness. You won't be able to find the answers if you're constantly moving. That can be taken both ways. Movement in the mind, but also physically moving. If you're constantly physically moving, the mind always has something to cling on to. And if the mind is constantly in movement, the veil cannot be seen through. The dream cannot be seen through. You, as the observer, cannot see through that which is constantly moving and distracting thyself. There's no reason why I'm speaking. And there's no reason why I came out here in the first place. My mind's gonna say, well, Nick, you came out here to observe. You came out here to be one with nature. That may seem to happen, but the true essence behind it is that I'm just here now. And so is that tree next to me. So is this swing next to me. It's just here, with no reason to be. But the mind that we have created, seemingly, will think otherwise. And decide, no, that's not it. That there has to be some purpose to all the movement. That also seemingly happens, because really you're not moving at all. There is no movement. It's all just here. The forest is no different from your room. A waterfall is no different from a fire pit. A bottle of beer is no different from a cup of tea. And these are all just labels for something that you can just so happen to sense with your senses. Take in and create some sort of experience. So rocks are made from a bunch of force pushing together different materials like dirt, sand, whatever it might be. I might be wrong. Who knows? That's just what I feel to be how a rock is formed. Of course, there's plenty of other things going into making a rock by nature. But anyways, a rock is formed over time with all this pressure and adding on to it, just pounding it in, you know? And in essence, that's what we are. But if you really, really if you give your ego the time of day to really zone in and ponder, consciously ponder on what this rock really is in this moment, it is still nothingness taking form as something that's been pounded together over time. And that's what we are. This is just spaciousness. It's energy. It's just particles that I'm able to sense through my fingertips. My awareness is going to my fingertips, and I'm able to sense that something is in my hand. And I'm just labeling this as a rock. It could be anything. It could be a stick, a wood chip, a plant. I just know that something is being felt through my fingertips, and that my awareness has gone to my fingertips. My mind, my ego, just labels the thing that's in my fingertips. So this doesn't have to be a rock. I could say that this is a stick instead. It doesn't matter because it's all one. Taking different shapes, seemingly. This is the practice. The last spiritual practice. Who are you really? You won't find out. You won't find out. You won't find out. And that's the beauty of it. It's a mystery. You won't find out. I may have said and pointed to what this rock may be truly, but even that's just a pointer to what it truly is. And what is that? I don't know. No one does. If you ask them and they say it's this and this and this, it's just a label, it's just a story. The form in which we've taken on this, what we call Earth, this incarnation we've taken, will never ever truly be able to know what it is that's happening, what this is. We can call it awareness, we can call it isness, we can call it it, we can call it whatever the heck we want, but those are just pointers. I don't make videos like these. I don't make videos like these. Why I'm doing it, I have no clue. But I was called to do so. By whom? I can call it my intuition. That's also just a label. This is the last spiritual practice. How can you get there? You can't. I'm not there. Or am I? See, that's the funny thing. We're all already it. We're already at the destination. There was no destination or journey to begin with. The spiritual journey doesn't exist. And there's no such thing as a spiritual teaching, or a spiritual teacher, or a guru, or a student. The energy's flowing through me now. Okay. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the love. You will only ever feel it. And that which you feel is you. And then again, that's still not it. You will keep going through these questions and these findings and these unravelings, and you will admit to yourself that's still not it. But it is it at the same time. And that's the mystery. Because you will never fully understand it, and neither will I. And neither will anyone else that you ask about this. Don't bother trying to figure it out. Because that's what I'm seemingly doing, and it's not working. Or is it? When you finally drop the seeking, when you finally drop the search, that's when things start to unravel. That's when things start to seek and seep through. For you to plainly see. And when I say you, I mean what's in here, not up here. It's a recognition. It's you recognize the you in everything. You don't think your way to this. You feel your way to this recognition. And nothing I have said or will ever say will get you there. The last spiritual teaching does not exist. Thank you, my love.